Council meetings are long and boring. Wouldn't it be great if they were short and unboring? This is why I have invented the 5 make it to 10 minute meeting. Jim Falkenstein here at the Ashland City Council meeting of July 21st. We start off with the consent agenda, and it had a public forum person right off the bat, and he said, I want that Clay Street Cottonwood on the heritage tree list. And the consent agenda was all approved, including that heritage tree thing and some money for the children's city's child care grant. And then the regular public forum went right to that. It's different. That's why it's a different camera. Shut up. Ponytail lady said, I have lived on the night lawn for a year, and it needs more night lawners in charge. And Glasses on the Head said, the 2 proposed bike trails in Lithia Park, no one knows about these trails. The August 5th is a parks meeting just about those trails. And a plaid shirt guy said, homeless, I am for the first time. And the city needs to help more generally. And skinny guy says, hot weather and smoke plan for the unhoused is not great. And a carpenter said, I am with the Carpenters Union and we have a great apprenticeship program. Oh, that's nice. And then a manufactured home ordinance thing. Okay, so they almost approved this at the last meeting, but this is about how long mobile home residents have to offer to buy their own park if the mobile home park owner puts it up for sale. And this ordinance gives them 120 days. And that's more than the state says you can have. And then so the public forum comes, and a ball cap guy says, I'm from some realtor group, and we want redactions in documents, and we want sellers to be able to sell fast. 30 days max, so that these wealthy people can save tax money. And then a short lady said, I'm very old and I live at the wing spread community and I just finished baking cookies and a pie. Please don't let them sell these fast. We need time to organize. She was adorable. And longer time was all approved, so suck it, Snidely Whiplash. You lost to the old lady. And then the contract extension. For some police thing called ECSO, and I looked that up, and it's our 911 service, so we're paying for that. That's good to do. All approved. And then a contract for water treatment chemicals, and public works guy Scott Fleury goes, hey, this is normal chemicals, we get them all the time, and there's just over $250,000 threshold of buying chemicals, so we need council approval. Pretty classic stuff. And then all approved. And then financing the bond for financing the North Mountain Road construction. It's still it's some longer term loan to pay off a shorter term loan, and the rate is higher, but the short loan came due. So, I mean, we need a finance director is what I got from that. But because the finance director quit last year because she hated Sabrina Cotta, our city manager. So that was all approved. And then the sewer rate increases. Scott Fleury's back. He goes, hey, in 2019, there was the last increase. And so this is 7% per year for 5 years. So considering it's been 7 years, that's not bad. And there's a separate storm drain increase as well. And here's a chart, and you look at that, and it's like 18% the first year and 11-ish for the next 4 years. It's that's what he's proposing. And then this one goes, she goes, hey, what did she say? She goes, hey, all rate increases are too high, and I don't see any meaningful attempts to cut expenses. And then this guy goes, hey, the budget's supposed to cover all costs, and any rate increases means we just start following the budget. And then this one goes, the mayor goes, oh, let me lecture anyone who disagrees with rate increases. Lecture. And then that was approved 4-2, so sewer rates going up, doesn't matter. And then internal services director, side-eye Sabrina Cotta, our city manager, she says, finance and IT were combined previously, and HR is a department. And so I need to create a brand new job position to supervise those 3 departments, and they will be a strategic partner with the administrative team, AKA work solely for me, reporting only to me. And I saw this job title in a city in California and Florida, so it's real. And then this guy goes, hey, seems like 3 completely different job skills to put under one supervisor. That's this guy. And he's even, this guy, he thinks it's stupid. This guy knows stupid. I'm telling you. And then this one says, she goes, hey, we should pay for a real finance director instead. Yeah. And you said something about cost savings you've created. Yeah, go on. And side-eye Sabrina Cotta goes, we swapped AIDIC with FLCIO, and I do 429 and R2D2 with doobie-doobie-doo-doo. And I've just said many acronyms that only I know and you don't. So I'm smarter than you. Do not question my authority.
And you will respect my authority.
Yeah, right.
And this guy goes, hey, we're not Portland. This position isn't even right for this city. It is ultimately your decision, city manager Sabrina Cotta, but I am not convinced. And this guy turned and said, I say whatever Sabrina Cotta says, the city manager says, is for good. And then this one says, we've been looking to save money, and we are just like Portland. And Salem, San Francisco, Paris, all big cities. And spending money on another department head will save money. No approval necessary, by the way. Side-eye Sabrina Cotta, city manager, can just do this because she's the city manager, and so she will. And then Madrron Ridge, it's a 1,900 acres of the city is looking to buy or manage or accept as a gift. And assistant city manager Jordan Rooklin said, for years we've been looking at this. That's not really years. Somebody has, but not the city necessarily. And this one goes, tell us great things about this property. And of course, mountain bike trail. And she goes, of course, it's fire mitigation. This property does that, and it's going to have housing and conservation, economic growth of mountain bike trails, of course, fire training, education in general, water somehow it's going to save, and it's going to clear blotchy skin and save whales, and it's going to help with Peyronie's disease. And I'm like, sure, yeah. He goes, yes, this property cures cancer and saves Palestinian lives, and also mountain bike trails. And this guy goes, hey, if we approve this, whatever this is, does it cost any money or anything? How much is it costing? And she goes, no. It's we agreed last year to pay $25,000 every year for 3 years, and this isn't adding to that. And this guy goes, I move that we create this concept plan for this property, and of course, mountain bike trails. And this one says, even if it doesn't cost money, it's a waste of staff time. Against it, but it passed 5-1. And then the mayor, she's back. She says, this is a pre-ordinance discussion of a potential ordinance that makes utility fee votes clearer and slower and more, and there'll be more meetings. And this is to sound like we're doing something smart, but it's really only to counter that pesky George Kramer ballot measure that would let pesky citizens vote on pesky fee increases. And so it went to public forum, and the OG 5G guy said, no one responds to public comments anyway, so this ordinance doesn't really matter anyway. And then a mustachioed man said, I'm not against this, but you don't waste staff time until the citizens vote on my voter ballot measure, our voter ballot measure. And it was all approved that staff come back with this ordinance someday, somehow. And then a citizens petition to have fee increases. Vote a fee increase ordinance to, the citizens petition to have a fee increase is going to be on the ballot, but they didn't get enough signatures, so they came back to the city and said, hey, you guys wouldn't put it on the ballot unless we got signatures. And then they got signatures, and then there was some technicality, so they were going, come on, man, put it on the ballot. And this one says, so we know what this is. And then this guy chimes in and says, aren't these signatures not really enough anyway? It's not qualifying for the ballot. And isn't this language no good anyway? And remember, voters, since he's running, I really, really questioned this whole thing. Watch how seriously I questioned it. And then the city recorder is this girl here. She goes, yeah, you're absolutely right. Probably not enough signatures. And then the city attorney, Johan Patella, he says, oh, you know what? I was just thinking randomly the other day. No one told me to. I just was thinking and said, hey, maybe this ordinance could cause a problem, hypothetically, on some big, crazy what-if situation. So, yeah, the language, that's the problem. So I proved that, months ago. But now I think it's no good. I think maybe language is no good. Interesting. And so he says, I move to let the petitioner talk, just come up and explain, what's going on here. And that was voted 5 yes, and one said, no, don't let him talk. Like, oh, it was like, why? Anyway, so then George Kramer, mustachioed man, by the way, he said, you told me to go get some signatures to prove interest. I got the signatures, and I got the language from the city attorney. So, I mean, come on. What are you killing me? You kidding me? And then there was a public forum for this specific. And former mayor, Cranky Shaw, she shows up and says, let me lecture you about history of ordinances and ballot measures and city government. And don't you cut me off like last time? What? Are you cutting me off? Are you cutting me off because my time expired? Do you know who I am? I am Cranky freaking Shaw. You can't. Okay, fine. She sat down. It was crazy. And then this guy goes, hey, I'm against this ordinance. I'm not voting for it. But I'd say we should put it on the ballot measure, democracy, And however, we should clarify some of the language and bring that back at the next meeting because we have time. And this guy goes, hey, you know what? That Bloom guy, he makes a good point. So I'm for this. Remember, voters, I really, really also voted for this whole thing. So I'm on both sides, whatever you want me to be. And then this one says, I wish we could keep the original language, but I'm for it. And this guy says, be careful for what we wish for. We might just get it. Let's do it and see what happens. And then this guy, of course, goes, no, I love increasing fees. I don't want citizens to stop me. And so it was approved 5-1. And then the Briscoe School, real quick, ODOT wants to build a ramp on the sidewalk and buy a chunk of the school, and they all said, yeah, that's fine, they all approved. And then, end of meeting, you're welcome. Thank you.